Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Trump and polling about whether or not he should have been charged because it has led to some questions. And I don't know what people were expecting, and we don't have a lot of good historical analogies for something like this because I hate to use the word, but it's unprecedented. Okay, so what does the polling say? Let's start with that. 48% believe that he should have been charged. 48%. And when you hear it that way, it seems like more people think he shouldn't have been. That's not actually the case, even though that's what a lot of headlines are kind of leading people to believe. Only 35% think he should not have been charged. The rest are undecided. They don't know. Okay, those aren't winning numbers for an election. Let's start with that. The other thing to remember is there's an issue with polling when it comes to what they are determining as likely voters. All of the stuff we talked about prior to the midterms that we were correct about, none of that's changed. So any of the numbers that you see that are based on likely voters, just throw those out because those are going to skew more heavily in favor of people who support Trump. Okay. But here's the other part. You have 48% think he should have been charged. A whole bunch that don't know, 35% think he should not have been charged. The group that doesn't know, what do they not know? That's the question. I have a feeling that a whole lot of people from the don't know category are going to move into the should have been charged as more information comes out about what's actually in the indictment. Maybe they take the time and read the indictment themselves. And then it moves towards the actual criminal proceedings. All of that's going to sway people. My opinion is that it is going to sway people towards the should have been charged camp. I would point out that if 51% of the country believes you should have been charged with serious crimes that are likely to land you in prison, it is really unlikely that you end up in the White House. Okay, so what is the closest historical analogy that we have to this? Watergate, right? It's really the only thing that comes even close. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions about Nixon and about how things went down because of how he is viewed today. So we're going to go through a little timeline. Nixon in 1973 started off with a 68% approval rating. 68%. That's a lot. That is a lot. That's a really high approval rating. Okay. May rolls around, Senate Watergate hearings. Only, I want to say it's 18%. I know it's less than 20%. At that point, felt he should be removed. Okay. It wasn't until October that the percentage of people who believed he should be removed was higher than his approval rating. Took all of that time. It wasn't until July of 1974 that a majority of Americans believed that he should be removed. It's worth noting in August he was gone. When it comes to political bases, and if you look and you break this down by political party, it's a very partisan divide when it comes to those who still support Trump. The thing about political bases is that they will stick with you until they don't. They will ride with that person until they don't. And it happens kind of, I don't want to say all at once, but it happens very, very quickly when it moves from they're in a rough patch to this is completely unsustainable. It happens very quickly. That drop off, boom, it just occurs. That is likely, in my opinion, what is going to happen with Trump. I would hope that it starts as more and more people read the indictment and see the evidence that is contained in the indictment. Because even if you look at that evidence and for whatever reason you think it was an honest mistake, you can't honestly believe that somebody who would make an honest mistake of that size should be president. I think that there's going to be a large change in the polls as more people get exposed to the actual information. And then, assuming that it goes to a trial, during that trial, I feel like things are going to go really bad for the former president. I think his approval ratings will change very, very quickly. The thing is, I imagine that's going to happen at the worst possible time for the Republican Party. As you look at the timelines and how this stuff may pan out, I feel like it's probably going to happen. It might actually occur after the primaries and Trump wins the primaries. And then this occurs. I know that Smith has said, speedy trial. Maybe he wants it to happen very, very quickly, which would probably be best for literally everybody involved. But there's no guarantee that happens. Trump's typical tactic is to delay. He probably will not be as successful in federal court delaying, but we're going to have to wait and see. I would not worry about the polls when it comes to should he have been charged or should he not have been charged? Was it politically motivated or not? None of that matters as the evidence starts to come out. If it's politically motivated, that will be found out. I've read the indictment. It's not. But if it was, that will come to that would come to light. I think most people are going to find out that there's a whole lot more evidence of wrongdoing than their current news outlet may lead them to believe. And I think that may alter some people's opinions, even within the Republican base. I'm certain it is going to alter the opinions of independents who lean conservative. So I wouldn't worry about this too much. Not today. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.